Hey, Financial Futures family! Are you ready to dive into the heart of some of today's most controversial and pressing issues? We're about to unravel the debates surrounding a $50 federal minimum wage, shocking statistics on social welfare, and the unsettling aftermath of a tragic event. Get ready to challenge your perspective and join the conversation. Let's jump right in. Welcome back to Stimulus Updates, your go-to channel for the latest news and updates on economic stimulus packages. Today we have some exciting developments to share with you. But before we dive into today's updates, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you never miss an update on all things stimulus related. We're here to keep you informed and empowered during these challenging times. Alright, let's jump right in. Today, we've got a lineup of gripping stories that will keep you on the edge of your seat. Strap in because we're diving straight into the action. First up, picture this: a $50 federal minimum wage. Sounds too good to be true, right? Well, one potential lawmaker is floating the idea. Could it become a reality? We'll dissect the proposal and its implications. The debate over the federal minimum wage has been raging for years. Advocates argue that raising the minimum wage would lift millions out of poverty and stimulate economic growth. Opponents fear job losses and increased costs for businesses. Now, imagine if the minimum wage skyrocketed to $50 per hour. It's a proposal making waves and sparking heated discussions. Could such a dramatic change really happen, and what would be the consequences? In Florida, Senator Marco Rubio dropped a bombshell statistic comparing payments for Social Security beneficiaries to those for refugees. The numbers will shock you, but more on that later. But first, let's address the elephant in the room. The recent tragedy at the Kansas City Chiefs Super Bowl parade left a community reeling. What should have been a day of celebration turned into a nightmare with gunfire shattering the festivities. It's a stark reminder of the growing fear in our society. Are we becoming numb to senseless violence, and where do we draw the line? Is it time to reconsider the death penalty? These are questions that demand answers. Intriguingly, legal migration could present challenges for Social Security. Contrary to popular belief, the Center for Immigration Studies argues that legal immigrants arriving later in life might take more money from Social Security than they contribute, potentially straining the system. It's a nuanced perspective challenging conventional wisdom. Now, let's address the elephant in the room. Social Security's biggest immigration problem isn't what you might expect. Surprisingly, it's not illegal migration draining the system, it's the lack of immigration. Social Security is funded in part by its two trust funds, and the impending depletion of these trust funds by 2034 poses a significant threat to the entire system, raising questions about its sustainability. Shifting our focus to Capitol Hill, let's explore the Republican perspective on immigrants and Social Security fraud. A representative emphasizes the scale of the issue, stating that before the surge in illegal mass migration, there were 1.2 million cases of illegal aliens using Social Security numbers in 2017. The numbers are staggering and alarming. The proposed bill aims to change this by streamlining the analysis and ensuring that criminal aliens can be held accountable and swiftly removed for victimizing Americans through Social Security and identification document fraud. Moving on to the next headline, Democratic Representative Barbara Lee is making waves with her call for a $50 minimum wage in California. In a state grappling with a soaring cost of living, her proposal is turning heads and raising eyebrows. But is it feasible, and what are the repercussions for small businesses and the economy at large? California, known for its high living expenses, is at the forefront of this battle. Representative Lee argues that a $50 minimum wage is necessary to ensure that Californians can afford basic necessities and maintain a decent standard of living. Opponents warn of dire consequences, including job losses, business closures, and inflation. And then there's Senator Marco Rubio's eye-opening revelation about Social Security beneficiaries versus refugees. The disparity is staggering and begs the question, is our system broken? Should those who have contributed to society for decades receive less than newcomers? It's a debate that's heating up. Let's jump into our next topic. We're diving into an article discussing significant Social Security increases over the past few years and exploring the possibility of doing even better. Plus, we'll be delving into Russia's President Vladimir Putin's recent statement on who he would prefer to be the next U.S. President: Joe Biden, Donald Trump, or someone else. But before we get into all that exciting content, I'd appreciate it if you could give this video a like. It helps with the YouTube algorithm. Also, consider subscribing to my channel if you haven't already. Now, diving into our lead story, Vladimir Putin has publicly shared his preference for the next U.S. president. According to CNBC, Putin stated that he prefers Joe Biden over Republican front-runner Donald Trump. Putin cited Biden's experience and predictability, describing him as an old-school politician. Putin added that they would work with any U.S. leader elected by the people. Share your thoughts in the comments on why you think Putin favors Biden over Trump. Switching gears, Joe Biden has called on House Republicans to urgently bring a $95.3 billion aid package for Ukraine, Israel, and Taiwan to a vote. Biden warned that refusing to take up the bill passed by the Senate would play into Putin's hands. The aid package includes support for Ukraine in its fight against Russia, aid for Israel and Gaza, among other global contributions. While the Senate passed the bill with bipartisan support, its fate in the House remains uncertain. Speaker Mike Johnson has cast doubt on the package, and its passage may take weeks or months. This prompts the question of why there's quick action on foreign aid but delays and uncertainties when it comes to domestic issues like Social Security. Speaking of Social Security, let's explore the recent cost of living adjustments. The adjustment for Social Security benefits and SSI payments in January 2024 is 3.2%, translating to an average increase of $59 per month per beneficiary. With approximately 71 million Americans collecting Social Security, this results in a monthly payout of about $4.2 billion and an annual payout of $50 billion. The previous year saw an 88.7% increase in benefit checks, averaging $145 per month for around 70.3 million beneficiaries. This amounted to $10.1 billion per month and $121 billion for the year. To put it in perspective, the current debate in Congress involves a $95 billion aid package for Ukraine, Taiwan, and Israel. Critics argue that while there's no hesitation in passing bills with trillions of dollars for various purposes, including infrastructure and inflation reduction, there seems to be a lack of urgency and commitment to addressing the Social Security Trust Fund's impending challenges. Despite numerous proposals to fix Social Security, lawmakers appear reluctant to act, potentially leaving millions of Americans facing benefit cuts in the coming years. In conclusion, the juxtaposition of swift action on foreign aid bills and delays on crucial domestic matters raises questions about lawmakers' priorities. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Do you believe there's a disconnect between the government's willingness to allocate funds for foreign aid and its reluctance to address pressing issues like Social Security? That wraps up today's video. I hope you enjoyed it and found value. If you did, please give it a like, consider subscribing, and I'll see you in the next video.